Hello everybody, my name is Lynn Ismael and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about products you can find at your local dollar store that you can use as a gardener. I'm a sucker for new gardening tools, so just think I would compare it to the way men are with their power tools. That's how I am for my gardening tools. So once in a while, I need to reel myself in and try to look for things that aren't necessarily for gardening, but you can use it in a way that would suit your needs. Around this time of year, if you're thinking of doing some winter sowing, you can get these boxes from Dollarama. The closest dollar store for me is Dollarama, but you can probably find the same thing in your local dollar store. I like using these containers because it's all contained in one. We got multiple varieties that you can place in just one container, just like how I did last year from this video. This one from Dollarama is sturdy enough that when you lift it, it doesn't, the bottom doesn't bowl, if that makes sense. You just need to make sure that you put some drainage holes at the bottom and some holes on top so that precipitation can enter the soil or can penetrate and water your little seedlings as they grow through the season. What I like about using these types of containers is that you can, the opening is wide enough that you can put the snow on top of your seedlings. Apparently, it's just mimicking, well, it's not apparently, this is mimicking Mother Nature. Proponents of the winter sowing method believes that when you mimic nature, you'll have better seed germination. So that's the whole idea of it. And this is what the results look like a few months later. I did film a video about the results of this experiment, so I'll link it down below if I remember. So this is my preferred way of doing winter sowing, just because I can start many varieties and just have it in a few boxes instead of several jugs lined up and not being able to keep it tidy. Next few items are for if you want to do a baggie method. You get some baggies from the craft department. Coffee filter, the fine ones, and some masking tape. With a paper baggie method, I use the coffee filters instead of a paper towel to put the seeds in, make sure it's moist, and then placing it in a bag, plastic bag, to seal it and let the seed imbibe water, give it the right light requirements and right temperature requirements, and eventually they will germinate. And so you just pick the germinated seeds and put them in a cell tray. With the masking tape, I use it to label the bags, just so I know what variety it is. And it's also a good point to write the date, just so you know when just so you have an idea when it should start germinating. I use masking tapes as well to seal my seed packets, just to make sure the seeds don't go all over the place. Next item I found is this fruit tray for about $3. I thought it'd be a good item for using my Swift Blocker 75, I believe, or is it 72? I think it's 75. Basically, when I use it using the shallow tray, I found that there are ridges at the bottom, so my Swift Blocker doesn't stand quite straight. So I thought I'd need something flat at the bottom just to make sure that the bottom of the seed blocks are straight, and so and so they stand up straight. I used the tray already and it worked out great. Next are condiment cups. I used to start my seeds using vermiculite and condiment cups, but I've then switched to the baggie method just because it takes less space. Next is Juk Twine. I don't have any need for it right now, but I will need a lot of them come the gardening season. I use it for my hand-tied bouquets just because it will eventually degrade if you put it in compost. When making vase arrangement, I start it as a hand bouquet first, use the jute twine to tie it all up together, and then place it in the vase. I find that you don't have to use as many flowers if you use a spiral method in hand-tied bouquets. And when you use a spiral method with a hand-tied bouquet and just put it in the vase, it just looks good, it looks full. I also use jute twines for making support for my plants. In the past, I wasn't very proactive in making these supports. So a storm comes along and all my plants are down to the ground. So this year, 2024, I'm gonna make a conscious effort to get the supports set up before the storm comes in, just so I don't have to repeat the same mistake I did last year. I found this battery operated spray made by Miracle Grow. There's no fertilizer in it, but I would imagine it would be good for spritzing the soil after you've placed your seedlings or seeds. But I want to see how fine the mist is and see if I can use it for foliar spray for when I'm fertilizing my seedlings when they get bigger. The dollar store is also a good place to look for saucers. I mean, I know terracotta saucers look much nicer, but I'd rather spend that money somewhere else. If I can save that money by buying the stuff here, then that's great. If you've reached this point of the video, thank you so much for watching. I am very much looking forward to the next growing season. Not too long now and we can get to garden out again. So if you haven't liked or subscribed yet, please do. It just helps the algorithm show my content to other people who might find it interesting. I try to show up here every Thursday, and until I see you again, bye for now.